I can't be arsed with all this shit. I think if I can't handle that on my own, how can I have a relationship? How can there possibly be any consistency when there's another person involved who has wants and needs and desires and temper tantrums and things like that? I just can't be bothered. And it's fine to accept. We've got some couples in relationships. You just accept it'll be tricky, but on the whole, it's better to have you around. The reason you don't really accept that is because when you're a child, you get read fairy stories. That's what happens in this country. Your parents lay you down and they turn the lights off and they read you a fairy story, which is a nonsensical tale of two people who have nothing in common. And about halfway through, whoever wrote them just ran out of time and went, bleh, they lived happily ever after. You wouldn't take that shit as an adult. If you were watching a play and it was sort of two people getting set up, oh, these are like chalk and cheese, what's going to happen? They move in together, and then the curtain went down, they went, it was all fine. You go, well, can you expand on that, please? Because I don't believe you, and children aren't clever enough to do it. When a parent ends and goes, and they lived happily ever after, they're not clever enough to go, no, they didn't. How did they? They're from completely different socio-economic backgrounds. I don't understand what they had to talk about, Mother. You know, you just need to expand. She lived in a basement. He's a prince. I just don't understand. When you read them to you, I mean, they're good stories, read them, but just get to the end and be honest. Just say, and they lived for a set period of time in a state of mutually destructive contentment. Okay. People think Cinderella is this romantic tale of how love conquers all. It really isn't. It's the most unpleasant, misogynistic story I think that's ever been written. Cinderella is the story of a prince who has so much money and so little to do with it, he just throws massive parties and he dances around and he gets everyone in the kingdom to see how rich he is, and then he gets his knob out and someone takes a picture and it's a bit weird. He has this massive party, invites the whole kingdom, says, yeah, look how rich I am. Yeah, I dance like a prince. And if you've ever seen a prince dance, then you can judge me. But if you haven't, you don't know it doesn't look like this. Do the prince dance. And then he sees Cinderella in the corner. He's like, oh, my God, look at the tits on that. Oh. I think I'll be having sex with that. I'm the prince. Off he goes. I really thought I could moonwalk in my life. It's another thing I've discovered in my 20s. I can't moonwalk. It looks like I've walked into a room, shit myself, and I'm trying to get out before anyone realises. Because it's simple to do, isn't it? You just look like you're walking forwards, but you're walking backwards. But I can't... I really thought I could do it. So I can't moonwalk. And now the only man who can teach me is dead. So, the prince, he sees Cinderella, he moonwalks over. He goes to... Oh, my God, she's gone. I can't believe it. Oh, she's left her shoe. Thank God. Well, I'll find her with that. Because why would I have remembered what her fucking face looks like? Pervert. Looking at the titties, wasn't he? Did she have a face, did she? I wasn't really that bothered, to be honest. I'll find her with the shoe, because heaven forfend there would be 2 size 6s in the entire kingdom. Off he goes, sniffing women's feet for a month. Are you a size 6? No, 6.139. Get off, you. Eventually finds Cinderella. There she is in the basement, which is being kept in by her sisters who make her clean for a living. He goes, oh, my God, I found you. Can't believe it's you, the girl from the party. But at the party, you had that sort of designer dress and the tits. Tits. Oh, tits. Tits. But now you're sort of down in this basement, you're dirty and you stink, you got rags on. What's happened there, love? And she goes, oh, well, it's a long story. Fairy godmother, pumpkin, blah, blah, blah. Oh, wonderful, a smackhead. All this time looking for her, and here she is downstairs talking about pumpkins you can ride to work in. Well, I've come this far. Come with me. Right. That's where we end the story as adults. That's where we go, that's fine. They lived happily ever after. Let's look at it now as adults in the cold light of day and say, they probably didn't. They probably had about a week that was fun. And it was like, oh, God, I'm having sex with a poor girl. Unbelievable. And then he would have just said something at a dinner party. Just about a week in, he would have gone, oh, that little flat knife there, that one, you're actually supposed to use that for your fish. But, well, there you are, buttering your bread with it. You fucking idiot. She would have gone, oh, it's just a knife, isn't it? You cut with it, you slice with it, you spread with it. It doesn't matter, does it? Do you know why you've got 15? Because there's nothing to talk about. You've got all your mates here, silver spoon morons. None of them have ever had a job. What are we supposed to talk about? I don't understand. You go, bah, 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 bah. Can you not take the piss out of my friends, please? Because I knew these lot before I picked you out of the gutter. Well, I don't remember asking to be picked out of the gutter. Oh, that's a good point. Why don't you fuck off back there? And so ended the tale. Just think, it's worth knowing that if you read these stories to a child, this is the future you are promising them. And I don't just think, oh, well, I'll pick a different fairy story. They're all bullshit. Princess and the Pea, roll over a bit. How big is this pea, for Christ's sake? And have you never lived with a man before? It's not the pee in the bed you want to worry about, it's the constant stench of pee in the bathroom. Pissing up the shower curtain, on the bath mat, it doesn't matter. The worst one is Sleeping Beauty. Sleeping Beauty is the tale of a man who kisses a woman for the first time while she's asleep, and then that never crops up again, ever. Never mention that. I've had girlfriends that I've been going out with who I've kissed whilst they've been awake, who knew I was going to do it, who still got pissed off. I've never crept into their room and got off with them before we'd been introduced. That would have come up within days they'd have been out. Just go, oh, you two look good together. Where did you meet? Oh, it's a good story. It's a good story, that. Do you remember that first night when you raped me? I'm lying upstairs, fast asleep. That's not stopped old wandering tongue. No, I woke up when he was getting off with me, but you'd been in the room 15 minutes, hadn't you?